For centuries, men and women have stepped away from the table to fast, to pray, to seek something deeper. But what does a 40-day fast look like today? I'm Dr. Sam King of Fasting, and in this podcast, I invite you to walk with four ordinary people on an extraordinary journey.
All right, day 11. Welcome back. Our verse today is Psalms 109:24. My knees are weak from fasting. My flesh has grown lean without fatness. So here we have actually a biblical version of like, when I fast, I will actually lose fat and grow lean. But there's just a thing about fatness that I wanted to kind of talk about today, because there's just kind of these interesting parallels that people kind of experience today, or some interesting challenges. For instance, Davey on day 11, he said, I want a slab of fat. At this point, I was so curious. I was looking for seal blubber, which is illegal. He found that out. But he'd eat a full steak just full of fat. He just craved animal fats. So that's his interesting experience. Mine was, I wasn't hungry. Brianne ate apples and peanut butter in front of me. That didn't faze me. But though when she made hamburgers for dinner, I wanted to lick the pan for like 5 minutes. I don't even like hamburgers. I like steak. I'm not really a fan of hamburgers. So like we were both kind of focused on wanting fat. Chelsea had a little different experience. She was on her cycle. It was a rough day, and she had to take Midol twice. And the reason why I'm telling you those things is because, first of all, you could take medication when you're on your fast. So that's the first part why I brought that up. But I also want to talk about maybe you're having these weird cravings. And my craving lasted for 5 minutes. Talking about, over a 24-hour day, I was able to get past it. But I really crave fat for a little bit. And I want to talk about tools that you can use. We call these fasting fuels, things that you can naturally use as an appetite suppressant. Oh, and I want to point out this. Brianne had a bite of sauerkraut on her day, and that's important because we have these appetite suppressants, and we have natural appetite suppressants. Now, the most effective appetite suppressant is water, because actually the most common reason why you're hungry is because you're dehydrated, and so you need to drink water. So that actually helps cure hunger the easiest way. So that's where but by this point in your day 11, you're probably drinking a lot of water. And some people at this point, or even before this point, water can taste like metal. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Other things that really suppress your appetite are things that fibers is now a natural appetite suppressant, protein, and fat. These things make you feel full. So things that I usually, when I'm on these longer fasts, a lot of times I recommend you add better fiber to your water or your liquid. Not everybody does it, but it keeps you from having the loose stools or the constipation. So it kind of keeps you right in the middle. And you won't go every day. Chia seeds are really high in fiber. Avocado, you have a little bit of avocado, a little bit. These are all little bits of things just to teach you past a little bit of hunger. So yes, I probably could have licked the pan. I was going to burn my tongue, but I probably could have had the fat. I didn't. Resistant starches help with appetite suppressant. And resistant starches are things like kimchi and sauerkraut. And so since they're resistant starch, they are not easily digested in the small intestine. They move further along. They ferment in the colon. It has beneficial health effects. It helps with blood sugar balance, metabolism. So branded by sauerkraut, it's actually a natural appetite suppressant. So resistant starches, kind of interesting information out there. Nuts are protein, fiber, and fat. That's all things that actually naturally suppress your appetite. So you have a little bit, it's all these little bits of things just to kind of get you through that. Green tea, cocoa, dark chocolate is, not with the sugar, but dark chocolate is. So they have things like cocoa brew, where you can actually brew it like coffee and have like a chocolate drink. And that can actually help suppress your appetite. Capsaicin. So this is interesting. Capsaicin can actually help suppress your appetite. And so they did a couple research studies on one where they gave people they gave it actually to kids, where they gave them the pill because they didn't want to give a pill capsaicin. And they gave another group of people another research. They just had them eat capsaicin with their meal. They ate a meal with that had capsaicin in it. Now, both felt equally full. So their satiety was the same. But the capsaicin increased their GLP-1s and decreased their ghrelin. Now, I'll go into GLP-1s here in a second, but ghrelin is the hunger hormone. So people who ate spicy food were less hungry as time went on, and they still felt just as full as the other group. Now, GLP-1s, there's a lot of medications with GLP-1s. What GLP-1s do is they slow how fast your stomach empties. It's a naturally occurring hormone in your body. So if you naturally increase your GLP-1, now you can give that. There's a lot of medications people are giving themselves as GLP-1s. It's a diabetic medication because it increases how much insulin your pancreas produces and naturally lowers your blood sugar. And it sends a signal to your brain to reduce hunger and appetite by decreasing your ghrelin. So capsaicin is an appetite suppressant. Now, I don't know if you want to drink spicy water, but when I went out with my friends, we were at a restaurant and I had a little bit of Bloody Mary mix, and I just sipped on that. And it was spicy, and it was tomato juice, and I just had a little bit, and it decreased my hunger. So just kind of an idea, though those kind of things can decrease your hunger. Cinnamon's an interesting one. Cinnamon, the research is kind of mixed on it. For some people, it's a yes, and for some people, a no. Meta-analysis basically says it's a yes, but every medication in the world doesn't work for every single person. So one of these appetite suppressants may not work for you. Coffee works great for me, but it works terrible for Brianna, and it works terrible for my father-in-law. So any of these things I'm giving you, these are tools, not rules. You can just look to see, you can try them, see if they work for you. If they don't work for you, then try one of the other ones. I like cinnamon. In fact, I like to put cinnamon in my coffee with a little bit of oat milk, and because coffee suppresses it, cinnamon suppresses it, and I use powdered cinnamon. And so I actually have it right here. I got a little coffee that I got today. I had to put powdered cinnamon. Tell them to put it at the bottom of the cup, by the way. This mixes up better. And then I just have them put just a tiny bit of oat milk. None of this is going to boost my blood sugar. All stuff I can have, and it keeps me from being hungry. Great fasting fuel. So come back tomorrow and see why water sometimes starts to taste like milk.